From Supreme to Palace, Kappa to Kith, streetwear has been engraved in football for as long as time can tell. And Brazil got thrashed by Argentina in World Cup qualifiers this past week. All that and more on this week's episode of Fullest Piece. Pete, how we doing?
Spring is here. This past weekend was fantastic weather. Went down to go see the cherry blossoms.
Lovely.
Down in DC. How about you?
I'm doing good. Also enjoying the weather. I'm waiting for allergies to start kicking my ass. Mm-hmm. But honestly, of all things, I'm just itching for Premier League football to be back.
Yes, itching for Premier. It's coming back this week. I know some other leagues like Serie A and La Liga and stuff came back this weekend. It was good. This was a good little break. I think it was a nice little break that we had from the Prem.
We had World Cup qualifiers, so it's not like we were left with nothing.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later. I'm sure if you're a soccer fan, you saw Brazil just get embarrassed.
But the reason I brought up the springtime weather is with springtime weather, people start changing up their winter clothes, and we're coming back and we're going to work on our spring and summer fresh fits. And I think that's what this episode is going to be about. We're going to talk about all the collabs. There's been a lot of collab work coming out this week.
A lot of streetwear and fashion brands are coming out like at the same time. It's not like this is a new concept, having these sort of like streetwear brands, whether collabing with clubs or fashion brands, are just kind of coming up with their own kind of take on football inspired wear. But there has been quite a bit. And one of our favorite brands, I'd say, is Kappa, who kind of double dipped this week a little bit.
They definitely did this week, or like the last couple weeks. There was the one that I saw was they launched this new sub label. It's called Kappa Authentic. It's basically bridging the worlds of football and fashion together. Something that's not really new, but now it's just kind of been a focus of them. I think over the last like 2-3 years, Kappa has done a really good job of finding like these more small, hipstery, kind of obscure clubs like Venezia or the Athens Galatea. I think this past year they had that one team in Versailles, that French team Versailles. Mm-hmm. Like, they've been doing these nice, like, very detailed but simplistic and very stylish type of kits, and it's just been really nice to see. It has that retro feel, like just something it's slightly above what you would wear on the pitch. But
it feels like modern vintage. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's just very well designed. It's like you say, it goes both ways. You could wear this on the pitch because clearly they do, but also like you could wear this out, and I don't think anyone's gonna question you. Like, they are very stylish kits. Mm-hmm. I do think it's funny. It's like looking at some of their first capsule collection, I suppose it is. Mm-hmm. It feels very Venezia inspired with the colors. There's a lot of that green, orange, and white that we recognize from there. I think they took, because now they're with Nocta, the Nike sub-brand, Drake's Nike sub-brand. Hate to see it. Absolutely hate to see it.
Yeah, hopefully it's still early. I don't think the first one was okay. We'll see if it gets any better. Hey, he saved them from bankruptcy, so, you know, was Kappa willing to do that? I don't know.
But yeah, I do like some of the pieces from here, but this isn't the only news coming out from Kappa this week. They also collabed, which is interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about this later in the episode, but they're collabing with another fashion brand, Acne Studios, which is kind of like a streetwear fashion brand. Pretty popular, kind of expensive for their stuff, but
I'm looking at these prices. $540. Oh my god,
that's Acne Studios. It's weird. Like, they're one of those high fashion brands that are just super pricey, I think. I actually think the jerseys that they released look nice. The pink and gray, it's just like a very like classic sort of like template-y look. It looks very like 90s inspired.
Yeah, it has like
not for $540 though.
No, not for $940. Like, I mean, some of the pieces, they're fine. They're nice. Like, I think the only thing that you could see me wearing is the tracksuit. Doing like a tracksuit. Yeah. That's the only thing that you will be seeing me in. this is where the streetwear community loses me, because I just drop in 540 for some Kappa sweatpants.
Kind of wild. This is definitely that upper echelon of like price range in the streetwear space. Yeah, I definitely not my cup of tea, but is interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm out of the two. I kind of like the Kappa Authentic. Kind of is more.
Oh, it's not even close.
More my type of speed. So.
Even all the pieces in that, I think, are better than the Acne Studio ones, personally. But what do we know?
Yeah.
The other big announcement, and there's actually not a lot of information on it. I tried doing some digging, couldn't find anything. But Kith announced that they're doing another capsule collection with Adidas football. Now, I think this will be their fourth collection together.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
All we know is they're doing a pop-up this Thursday, which when this episode comes out, it'll be tomorrow. They're doing some sort of pop-up at Grand Central Station. There's no real information about it. It starts at 11 a.m. I have work, unfortunately, or I would try to pop over there. I might see if I can maybe sneak out, but I'm not holding my breath on that. But I'm sure we'll be seeing some of the pieces there and see some more announcements. But in the past, all of the past Adidas Kith collaborations, specifically with their soccer, with the soccer branding, I think it's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it kind of is a perfect collab, in my opinion. I think this captures kind of both. Also, I feel like Kith never misses. I feel like most of the collabs that I've seen Kith do, I don't think they rarely miss. Like, I mean, it's like that's like the kind of style I personally like if I had access to those types of funds, or just more consistently. I mean, looking here, I do like, yeah, they've done some back from like 2018, 2017. I kind of like the first one, the spring 2017 one, a lot. Is from what I'm seeing, but
and I'm not sure if these are makeshift teams, like if these are made up.
They're definitely makeshift teams.
I wasn't sure if it's like maybe like random like statewide club teams or something. But I do think it's interesting that they have actual sponsorships. Like I think it's the Cobras have the Coca-Cola and the Coke sponsorship. The Flamingos have the Chase. I think it's the LA Rays have the Samsung sponsorship. God, it does look clean. It is interesting. Like, yeah. Just kind of like even if they're not real teams, I think it's kind of cool that they're just coming up with these concept kits for non-existent ones.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I even like the summer 2018 ones are pretty nice. I kind of like the whole like the red, white, and blue ones look kind of cool because it's like 4th of July kind of theme, and I like the gold accents there too. Like these all kind of slap, and like I've never was a big fan of like the big 3-stripe one on the shoulder there like that, but they're really cool.
It's funny because like I am very specifically remembering the two sort of like indoor shoes that they released in that 2018 collection, the A16 and the Copa Mundials. I like remember those coming out. I remember seeing specifically the A16, the Pure Controls that are very multicolored there with the knit. I'm like, I wish I could pull those off. The Mundials though are gorgeous. I like the gold. Like if you're down for the gold with the red, white, and blue stripes, I think they're super clean.
Yeah. Who says you can't rock those knit ones? Why not?
You're right.
Never say never.
Never say never. I am very interested to see what they come out with. Will I end up buying anything from it? Sources say probably not. But I am very... I always like
league sources
window shopping.
League sources have told me no. Yeah. Moving on to like this last kind of bit of more streetwear collab news. Bayern and BSTN. Sorry. And BSTN is a German-based brand and retail platform that's known for its focus on basketball, streetwear, and sneaker culture. And it was founded in 2008 by, I'm going to butcher this, Christian Fu, he goes by Fu, Boschik, and Dusan Duki. Svetsovich. I butchered that so bad, but oh well. Sorry. Looks like they have a great platform on their hands. They collabed with Bayern Munich for a new collection that pays tribute to Munich. It sounds like this is their second one that they've done after they had a successful collab last year. So they're bringing it back again with a 7-piece collection. Leading the collection is a football jersey that arrives with an earth-toned reptile pattern, paying tribute to the local Podcaris muralis, or more commonly known as a wall lizard.
It's very cool.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I would have felt about it, but it is kind of sick. I kind of like that a lot.
It's reminding me of the Real Madrid kit from this year. The gray. I think it's just because like the dark gray's collar. It's very clean. I love the earth tones with it.
Remember that snakeskin inter-kit that a lot of people didn't like? Kind of gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
But better executed.
Yeah, the monochromatic badge. This is a very clean kit. Like this is, I would put this in the beauty range if we were to tier list it.
They got some nice Adidas like shoes in there too, which I love. I love the maroon color. The maroon color is like one of my favorite.
It's very clean.
I love the bomber. That bomber. If there's anything, the bomber jacket is something I would grab in a heartbeat.
The bomber's very clean. All of it. This is a very nice, tight knit collection. Like it's.
Yeah.
They don't try to do too much. They keep it clean designs. Yeah. I don't think there's any real misses here.
No, I don't see any misses here at all. So by seeing this, looking at this collab, it got me thinking. Little new segment. You in for a new segment? You want a new segment? I'm gonna give you a new segment.
Do I want a new segment? I would love a new segment.
All right, I'm gonna give you a new segment. Top bins. Basically, we're just doing like a Mount Rushmore-esque. This week, we're going to do favorite collabs. Favorite streetwear and football collabs that we've seen over the years.
Now, these are our lists vary a little bit. Obviously, we each have our own individual accounts. Some of these are actual collabs with teams. Some of them are just fashion brands giving their own take on the soccer streetwear sort of attire.
Yeah, exactly. So... I'll let you start. You start first. Which one did you go with?
The first one, and it honestly was the first thing to come to mind for me, was the 2018 Nike Off-White collab. This was the first collab we saw with Nike and Virgil Abloh with Off-White, and he gave us very specifically, there was a white kit, but it was the black and white checkerboard. I don't think it's an actual Netherlands kit, or I don't think it's actually Netherlands branding, but it looks like it with the lion. But it is this, it's by definition Nike Lab Off-White Mercurial NRG football jersey. And I just think it's one of the coolest fashion pieces ever. I remember really wanting this, and it gets sold out immediately. It was like $180. Now it's going for almost 3 times that. I think it's one of the coolest soccer fashion pieces, just even fashion pieces across the board, since I've kind of been following that space.
Yeah, I mean, this was when Virgil was definitely like in his bag, because this is like all around the same time I feel like the Jordan collab in Off-White was coming out, or
he was releasing all of them. He had the year before this, he had just announced all of the shoes he was going to be releasing, including the Jordan 1. It was, I think, like 8 or 9 shoes in total.
I think it was collection. 10. I think it was like 10.
Yeah. It was a lot. And then he came out with this collab, and I remember I wanted it so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, R.I.P. Virgil. Sad that he passed. But I mean, this is iconic. This is a very iconic collab.
This is an easy 1-1 for me.
Yeah. Again, this isn't my kind of pick, not in any particular order, but I'm just going overall, just the overall catalog. Jordan PSG. Jordan, like, I don't think they could have picked a better club that I feel like encapsulates, football and fashion together than picking a team from Paris. The fact that they also have like just great colors, number one. Yep. But I mean, a lot of like, say what you want. I think most of those kits are pretty sick. The ones that they've done with Jordan.
I don't think they have many misses.
Yeah. And then also some of the cool other offsetting collabs that they've done with it, with the Jordan brand, like the Amon de Manor, I think what the hell do you call it? Where the hell? No, Amon Manier. Sorry. Wow. Could not. It was like I knew it was something, but yeah, like some of the offsetting like collabs too. The Amon Manier like Air Jordans. They did a collab with PSG. So like cool things like that just come with the deal. I also remember when they announced it too. Like Justin Timberlake did a concert in Paris, and he had this sick ass like Jordan PSG
Yeah.
jacket that was like, gotta get that.
Do you have a kit? Do you have a specific kit in mind that's like your favorite from them? I have one. My personal favorite one is their 21-22 home kit. That I think it was the first year with Messi. It's the Chicago Bulls inspired.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's everything about that kit is like perfection to me. It's one of my like favorite football kits of all time, let alone the PSG collaboration with Jordan Brand.
Yeah, the collab started in I want to say it started in 2018. That was the first time they did it. Some that kind of stick out to me. I do like the 2021 fourth kit, like that really cool like kind of purple pink tie dye like one. Like that's like a really fun one that I like thought was cool. Um I even like from that I agree with you about the home kit for 2021, 2022. Like those that particular year I felt like hit. Um and then I even like the ones from like 2023, 2024 where they did especially the dark one where they did the elephant print.
Yeah.
Because
Very clean.
I do love sneakers. I am a little bit of a sneakerhead, and I think like the Jordans, like most of the Jordans, obviously the early Jordans are the best ones in my opinion, but that's a conversation for another day. But overall, just pick that whole collab because I think it's the best one, and it's sad. I think it's going to end like next year. I think next year's the last one they're going to do, and then we'll see what they do from there.
We'll see if they renew. Moving on to my number 2. You're looking at it. It is the Umbro. I believe it was the 2022 Umbro collaboration with Palace. They created a line of soccer kits in the same style, several different colors. Blue, I have the pink, green, red. I believe, Pete, you own the gray.
I do have the gray.
These are, I just think it's just such a clean design. You can wear this anywhere. This like screams like I'm going out for a couple drinks in the mid-afternoon on a Saturday.
Well, I think it was inspired by, I want to say like 1990, the 90s, 1990 England kit. That's where it's because it's the same type of collar and the same type of, where it would be the Palace piping, it's the Umbro diamond instead.
Yeah,
so,
I mean the red version of this kit is like one step away from Manchester United kits, so that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, easy number 2 for me.
Yeah, another one that just kind of caught my mind. I kind of found like more obscure ones, but I thought was this Monaco and Kappa and Drôle de Monster. It came out, I want to say in 23. No, it came out in the fall of 2022. I just think it was a cool collab. I like the kits because this is like a really interesting design that you will not see. It's a diamond checkered pattern. I also love the colors, but my favorite piece is the tracksuit. I'm a sucker for tracksuits. That tracksuit is so goddamn cool. Like
I do think this. I think the kit's fine. It's the tracksuit though.
It's the tracksuit. I think the whole vibe of the collab is pretty cool. It's totally different, and but the tracksuit alone, just
it's a magnifique.
Yeah, don't really have much to say. I do like Monaco. I always think Monaco is a cool like team that, they literally are just in this tax haven principality.
I like that. I like that Kappa snagged them.
Yeah, although I don't think Kappa's going to have them anymore, so Damn.
Seems like their contracts are short-lived.
Yeah. But that's all I had to say. It's just a little, just like personal favorite. Just thought it was kind of neat.
My number 3 is, and I actually was trying to decide between one of two collabs, but I ended up going with this one. AC Milan and Pleasures for their 23-24 fourth kit from last season. Now, this is the cream and the black versions. They actually had 2 different versions of these. I think both are great, but the cream colored one I think is superior. This is just like peak fashion, I think, in terms of like soccer and fashion streetwear. Like it's just an all-around beautiful kit. It merges Los Angeles street style and Milan's Gothic architecture. I mean, this kit's perfect. I remember seeing this at the Puma store on Fifth Avenue, and I was very tempted.
Should have biked the bullet. Should have done it.
It is a gorgeous kit, though.
Yeah, no, that out of like a lot of the AC Milan. If you check our AC Milan episode, we kind of go into more detail about these. These are the best ones, the best collab ones that they've done. I feel like my opinion.
third and fourth picks are both. I had to kind of make a decision. I wanted to go. So for AC Milan, I was trying to decide between this and Off-White, but the problem is I actually don't love the Off-White jerseys. I just like all of the streetwear around it, like the pre-match wear, the fashion wear. I think is fantastic, but their kits itself are pretty bad.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I was thinking about that AC Milan Off-White one, and the streetwear stuff is sick. I'm not as mad about. I don't hate that kit. The kits as much as some other people do, but they're not. Wasn't the best executed.
Not great.
The next one I went with more. I had to throw a United one in there. So United did this collab with a band in Manchester called the Stone Roses. The Stone Roses, they have a song called "This Is the One," and that's the walkout song that United comes out to for every home game. It's a pretty good song actually, but I just think it's a cool kit. I was at a bar one time, at a United bar, watching one of the games, and they had like the anthem. They had a jacket, so they made the kit. But then they also did like a jacket in the same type of style. It basically it's using their album cover art for the base of the jersey. I saw this jacket, the person wearing the jacket, and I was like, oh yeah, that was like that collab. And it's pretty sick. I like how they use the old school badge too, really pops, and the trefoil too. I also like how they did the red, white, and blue on the Adidas stripes. It's a cool kit. I think this is it's pretty nifty.
I think it's neat. A little too much going on for my preferences, but this is your list, not mine.
Yeah.
I do like the symbol and the meaning behind it all, though. I am a big sucker for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
My last pick, my number 4. Now I said that it's kind of in a similar situation as my number 3, where I was trying to decide between 1 and 2. So I decided to go with the 2014-2015 Real Madrid and Y3 collaboration, the Dragon kit.
Yes.
I think is one of their best kits of all time. It's one of the most iconic ones. Super clean design, super sick design. I was very close. It was almost a coin flip for me, trying to decide between this kit and the Japan Y3 collaboration from last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I did end up going with this. It just feels a little more iconic. If I had to pick between all of them, I think I'd be going with this one regardless. But I mean, it's just simple, clean. It's when you do a black and white kit right and get some patterns in there like this dragon, I think it's hard to not make it something great.
I agree. I mean, it's an iconic kit. Everyone and then they almost ruined it too because they came out with that human race collab, and
that one was bad.
That one was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Everyone loves dragons. Dragons are sick. Like anyone who tells me dragons are weird or not cool, like get out of here.
Dragons are objectively sick.
Any type of dragon. The Japanese style dragon, the classic mythical like fantasy dragon from like Game of Thrones.
Dragon might nuts across your face.
Get the fuck out of here.
So what's your number 4, Pete?
Wow. Number 4, little again went off the beaten path. But I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. So I went with the SSC Barry and a brand called LC23 collab here. It came out the 2022 collab. It's a retro style release that overlays red and white stripes over an octopus pattern. Octopus is very big in Bari, but I mean there's a cool. I like it. It's really nice. I like their badge too. Their badge is pretty sick. Also a
I'm gonna
Kappa collab.
I'm gonna be real. Like I've never heard of any of this until you made the pick. I want all 4 shirts.
Dude, that I want that away one, the blue one. The blue one's sick.
The blue one's sick. I kind of like the actual octopus colored shirt at the bottom there.
Yeah.
The home kit. All 4 are fantastic.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. I mean, I love how they did the collar too, like on the away one. Like it just says La Berry, which is awesome. So I mean, cool little kit. I know they did one, and they also did one in 23, I believe, as well. So look at that, Kappa just doing the cool retro style again. So
Kappa's fire. They don't miss these days.
they never. It's hard. They had a tough run in the mid 2000s, but they figured out what works.
Now, talking about what's working, let's talk about something that's not working.
Oh God.
We're moving on to soccer news now. Actually, the only game we'll be covering this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil versus Argentina. Whatever Brazil's strategy was going into this match, unfortunately did not work. Because they got thrashed 4-1 against Argentina, their arch rivals. What a beatdown, man. I mean, we had a Julian Alvarez goal 4 minutes in, followed by an Enzo Fernandez goal at the 12th minute. It started to look like a game because Cunha scored in the 26th, and then we had a McAllister goal in the 37th, and Simeone just closed out the game in the 71st. I mean, just outplayed. It was they had 12 shots on target they had 12 shots compared to Brazil's 3, 7 of which were on target. It just a fully dominated game by Argentina.
This is very tough. It looks like for CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying. So top 6 are the ones that qualify for the World Cup. They're in 4th place right now on 21 points. The top 6 are the ones that qualified for the World Cup. So they do have some space from 7th place Venezuela, who's on 15 points. So I know it was a little dodgy in the beginning. I remember seeing tweets and kind of stuff that, was Brazil having a hard time in qualifying? Well, they've kind of fixed it, but I think the one thing we got to get into is this squad. This is tough.
This is take away Vinny Jr., take away Rafinha, and take away Rodrigo. This squad is bad. And with that front 3, we'll say, it's like they don't mesh. It's a very jumbled team. If you watch them play together, Vinny becomes he almost feels like a prime Neymar, but not in the way you want to be. I'm talking about in terms of flopping. This man will hit the ground over anything. Rafinha, I feel like he's just all of his energy's in Barcelona. And no one just seems to be clicking. I feel like every time I watch Brazil play, it looks like they're getting dismembered.
Yeah, also to note, they have 3 guys in their midfield that play for Wolves. Wolves are in a relegation battle in the Prem. This kind of tells you everything you need to know. I mean, looking at looking at the rest of this lineup here, especially in the defense. The defense, there's not really anyone there. Old ass Alexandro. I mean, Gabriel is good. Gabriel and Marquinhos are good, but there's not really anyone else there. The midfield I feel like the midfield's lacks creativity. Bruno Guimaraes is good. Cunha's good. but like they're not, there's not like there's something that's like missing, and I don't know what it is, but I have a theory here. I think I have a theory.
Talk to me.
I think I know who ruined the Brazilian national team.
Who would that be?
Far reaching. I think Pep Guardiola ruined it.
Pep Guardiola ruined the Brazilian national team.
Hear me out. So, Pep Guardiola, obviously started coaching back in 2008. He's been going on what now is like almost a 17-year run. But what has he done? He's manipulated world football. What has he done with world football? Everyone tries to play like him. Everyone tries to play like the, tiki-taka, possession base. They all have their systems. You have to have a system in place. And which players are best suited for that? Spanish players. The Spanish players are more the technically gifted. They work on their passing. What were Brazilians known for? They were known for that joga bonito, that Ronaldinho, R9, Kaká, Juninho, Roberto Carlos. I mean, you name all the classic Brazilians. Brazilian players were like these exotic pieces that European teams were like craving. We're like, we need a Brazilian. We need this gem. And because Pep Guardiola made football more, you have to have a system and this and that, he ruined the joga bonito in the Brazilian national team. Now, like, the only guy that's good that is Vinny. Vinny's the only guy that's like you can maybe say he's like a maverick of some type, but there's no more, maverick, fun, like, freestyle of Brazilian football. I'm just going to say it.
I think you might be cooking with this one a little bit. I do feel like we've kind of lost a lot of the fun in this. Like,
exactly.
You used to look, like, if you look at the 2014 lineup, like, you had characters. Like, they were good, though. It wasn't just...
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, they're, like, personalities, but, like, you would see them, you're like, that's a fun team. Like, you saw on defense, we had Marcelo, David Luiz, Thiago Silva. We had in the midfield, I mean, obviously Neymar. You had Hulk. You had Oscar. You had the GOAT Fred. But there were just... I don't know. It just, compared to now, some of these players aren't even recognizable. 3 of the 11 are in a relegation battle.
Well, it's just, there's just like no, there's like no substance. Yeah, you don't see a guy like, I'm just going to dribble past, like how Anthony said, he says, I'm going to just dribble past all the drug dealers, like in the favelas. Like, there's none of that. There's none of like,
there's no David Luiz ripping a free kick from 40 yards out as a center back.
Like, I'm looking at this 2006 Brazil squad. This is like a team that I think of, like Ronaldinho. Again, I said it. Ronaldinho, Kaká, Juninho. They had R9. They even had like Robinho. Like, Robinho was sick.
To give a little bit of grace, though, you are naming one of the greatest squads in history.
I know I'm naming one of the greatest squads, but like, they played like fun, free-flowing football and dominated. I think now, like, it's totally reversed. Like, yeah. And also on top of it, like, I don't know if you saw it, but Brazil sacked their coach after that. So now they don't have a coach. I think the rumors are they've been long admirers of Carlo Ancelotti, who I actually think would be the perfect coach to like get him straight.
I mean, it'd be interesting, and it's also, I mean, one thing that's at least nice is, I mean, the best player, who I think is safe to say, is Vinicius Jr. right now. That is the coach he already works with. He can figure out the system to build around him. Maybe he'll get in Vinny's ear and tell him to stop fucking diving. There's something... It's Brazil. Like, this team should be good. Just across the board.
They should easily be a team that makes it deep into these tournaments. Like, you should be in the final of the Copa America, and you should be making it at least to like the final 4 in a World Cup, theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, they are ranked number 5, which honestly, it's so arbitrary, none of it matters. But
yeah, But it could be also like, world football is changing, and the money that's pumped into a lot of these other countries and to the infrastructure is not in Brazil's wheelhouse. Brazil's wheelhouse is they have like just super raw talented players. The problem is their personalities do not mesh with systematic approaches. The better to say it better than nothing, but we'll see. There's, like we said in our last episode, there's like some 400 odd days until the World Cup, so they have some time to get.
If they should be qualifying. It's going to be something bad if they don't.
They'll qualify. They'll be fine with qualifying. In the end, I think they will. But if they can get Ancelotti, I think that's a big win for them.
I agree. But I think that right about does it for this week's episode of Fullest Peace. Hope you like our little bit top bin section. And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, I'd just say, hey, in the comments, let us know what your favorite streetwear collabs are. We'd like to see some feedback there. But yeah, other than that, we'll be capturing the premise back this week. We'll be talking about that next episode, and we'll let you know if we're going to be depressed if our dumb teams aren't winning again.
Always a safe assumption. Thank you all so much for being here, and as always, cheers, my friends.
Mwah. See you guys.